Hi everyone. So I'm Gus. I'm part of Last Mile Link, and we'll talk about capacity and demand, or if you want to call it supply and demand. So who are we? We are developing a platform for the management of last mile delivery, and you can read that, but I will emphasize the on-demand part of it, where not only the client's requests are on demand, you buy when you want, but also the person carrying the package or the other persons are also on demand. They want job on demand. And I also want to mention that we're backed by City Sprint, which gives us not only some funding, but also a lot of historical data and the possibility of trying experiments in the real world. So, delivery is rather simple in principle because it's moving something from A to B. It could be a person, it could be a package, but it's moving something from A to B anyways. But it's actually rather complex. And some people that know more than me, that know about the sector, point to complexity as the #1 reason why startups in this space fail. And if not, you could ask these guys maybe. So, why is complex? There is cultural reasons, there is geography, there is a technological platform that you need to put together, and there is also the commercial reality. So to solve these issues in last mile delivery, we are approaching it this way. We want to first go to a specific. We need to solve small problems, very specific, probably rules-based heuristics that evolved and maybe start using not only these rules, but perhaps some already known equations or models or things that you know that will happen in a certain way. From that, we evolved to machine learning, where we start generalizing even more. We start reading historical trends, and that allows us to do predictions, simulations, and ultimately optimization of a certain process. And then the ultimate goal, of course, artificial intelligence, where we have a very general solution that doesn't solve one problem, but many problems at a time, and also manages to relate them all. But let's focus on the problem today, which is capacity and demand. It's basically how many couriers can carry how many orders at a certain time and space. And if you have too many couriers, you will see that you will have a lot of loitering, waiting, burning gas, cost, lack of incentive. Whereas if you have too many orders, then you have unhappy customer, delays, and also poor record for the poor courier. And how we're trying to solve this. So we're trying to kind of break up the problem in different pieces. And we have, for example, 2 machine learning models that are trying to solve a different part of the puzzle. So one, the one above, is trying to predict the demand of, say, the week after, hour per hour, based on historical data in some part of London. And you go through all the mess of prototyping, and you build in R on Python. Then you have to expose it somehow, so it can be used. You can build a microservice, etc., etc. And we have another machine learning model that, instead of predicting that demand, will predict when the system fails. But that system failure is actually very difficult. It's not just price, like if it was a consumer good, but it's something that depends on delays, on cancellations, on rejections, idle times, missed deliveries, the client is angry, I don't know. It's actually quite hard to come out with this X factor, as I call it. But the idea is to combine all these many little solutions into some system that is not just a predictive tool, but is more of an optimization tool. So in this example, you have a machine learning predicting demand, a machine learning model predicting demand, then a capacity based on historical data, a simulation grabbing samples of that possible values of capacity. Capacity is basically how many couriers you have available. And then you have many possible outcomes for 1 hour. you have all those outcomes that you put in your second machine learning model, and you come up with a optimal value for capacity. So now, you, as a company, you know how many couriers you want to have engaged in a certain part of the city at a certain time. And then you do that again, and again, and again. And with this, I finish. The idea is that you have a controller, a manager, an employee with a lot of experience. He has, or she has, the geography in their minds. They have how the system works, how to match all these different pieces together, but it's all in their minds. And the idea is to deconstruct it and go piece by piece until we manage to, hopefully, replicate it. And we're hiring, so write me an email or write me, on Twitter or something. And thank you.